Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Dundee Sole podcast. Today's podcast is a special one for me because I'm getting to sit with my mate. His brother's been on twice, so I think it's only fair that he gets to tell his side of the story. He's been a big inspiration in my story, as we'll get into. And just because I've said this on the podcast a few times, and I say this to a lot of people, one of my favourite quotes is, if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth. If you surround yourself with around five junkies, what will you be? And when I say that quote, I'm talking about the influence this guy had on my life. And
thank you very much, man.
The surroundings I found myself with this. We'll get into that, but yeah. Callum Stewart, how is it going, bro?
It's going good, mate. Life's busy. Life's hectic. I don't know if it's a good hectic at the moment. I've just had another little girl.
Building an army now, are you?
Yeah. I wanted another little girl, so I was happy. Work's really busy, which is good. Can't complain about that, but it's still hard. 15 years of grafting now.
And all the time I've known you, for those 15 years, you've been booked solid for like a year and a half.
And 6 days a week as well, man. But I'm really fucking happy that that's the case, because it would be a lot. I would be mourning a lot more if it was the other way around. But yeah, life's going great, man. Apart from a few little hiccups in that I've came along the way, but I'm not going to go into them because I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's going good, because your story, this is what I'm going to want to get out here, is your story. I see it as a very positive story. The creation I've seen around you and the things I've learnt off you we'll get into, but let's go right back to the start, man. Where were you born and what year were you born?
So I was born in Dundee in 1987. So 40 next year, unfortunately. It's came around fast, man. It's mad how fast time goes, especially when you get older. Like it's crazy. Moved away from Dundee when I was a baby. I don't know exactly what age, to Falkirk, and then moved back when I was nearly 6. And then that's.
What school were you at when you came back?
I was at Eastern Primary School, and then I went to Grove Academy, and that's where, Eastern's where my art sort of stuff started to. I kind of started to realise that I'm pretty good at this. You know, I'm better than most people in the classes. You know, when you're a kid, like, you know, if you drew things, like you would do like line drawings and stuff. You know, somebody told you to draw fucking, I don't know, a polar bear or something, and you would draw a line drawing of it. Mm-hmm. But like, I remember in primary 7 I was starting to shade things and trying to get depth in them, values, and
did you just pick that up naturally, or like
yeah, I think so. I mean, like, we can go back as far as, like, I mean, I can't remember this, but there's like home videos, you know, the old fucking GVC, yeah. Like, it's like this size, and it's in Falkirk actually, and there's a video of me. I'm naked on the floor. I don't really know why. But lying on the floor, like drawing Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, and Kami's there as well. And for some reason, I'm struggling to draw Master Splinter, and I asked Kami to draw me at, and he like just goes, "Yeah, there you go." And like 2 seconds later, it's like a purple scribble, a bit of brown scribble on top of it. And you hear me going, "That's not Master Splinter," with a wee Falkirk accent. I mean, so it goes as far back as then. I think I must have only been about 3 or 4.
Really?
So then, when I first started taking an interest in art. My grandpa was pretty artistic as well. And then, moved on from there. I realised young, you know, like I said, in primary school, that was probably one of the things that was really excelling at. I was pretty much terrible at everything else, so. You know yourself, if you feel like you're good at something, you're probably better pursuing that.
Yeah, focusing 100% on that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good feeling good at something. It's a good feeling getting praise, you know, like, so it makes you want to do well in whatever that was, but, like, I never thought I was going to be a tattoo artist. I always knew I was going to do some art, even through secondary, but, I mean, like, when your mind's immature, you start to think, well, what am I going to do with art? What's art like? I mean,
back in like in this time, like what were your options to do with art? Because tattooing wasn't such a big thing.
Well, I mean, everything's art, but when you're a kid, you don't realise that. You know what I mean? You know, making this microphones art, making this, you know, like graphics art, making like those TVs or those mannequins or anything in here is art. But at the time, you just think, I'll just be an art teacher. I'll just teach somebody else how to do it. But what's the point in getting taught how to do something to just teach somebody else how to do the same thing when you could do something more unique with it yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that was kind of at school was when I realised that I definitely wanted to do something like that. But I mean, tattooing. The only reason I got into tattooing is, to be honest with you, Cammy. He was into it from a really young age, like 15 years old or something. I think he got his first tattoo. I don't know did he tell you that story?
Yeah, no, Cammy's stories have all been on it, yeah.
He went to, you remember Graham's, like Lato's?
Yeah,
and,
a legendary name in there.
A tribal band, you know, on the wall that you were kind of meant to get there on your arm.
Yeah.
And Cammy went in and went, I like that, but is there any chance you could do it like long ways in my bicep? He went, no, goes there. He said, because he was only 15, he went, okay, just got that.
There's another photo with spiky hair on it, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's 15, yeah. And I remember, like, we had, like, my dad's, like, I can't even remember, it was my dad's graduation, I think. And he had this, like, quite light, like, shirt on, and you could kind of see it through the shirt. So you had to put, like, fucking paper, like, covered up with, like, plasters and that, so you couldn't see it through the shirt. But at the time, man, I wasn't interested in tattooing. I'm 4 years younger than Cammy anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm like, you're a big skateboarder.
Yeah.
I've seen the footage of you doing the skateboard when you were younger. You're really good at that as well,
Yeah, I was a good skateboarder. I was probably on the verge of getting a small sponsorship anyway, you know, like a fucking, like a local sponsorship something like that, you know what I mean? We used to make videos and that, with the old digital cameras, you got 20-second clips. Was
this like Jackass inspired, or was it like?
I liked Jackass. We'd done all that sort of stuff. We'd done all the sort of bail sort of stuff and videos where you were hurting yourself and stuff like that. Because I mean, like that you remember that time?
Yeah,
that was massive. You know what I mean? That sort of that scene and that type of music and stuff like that. Like it was
Blink 182, Sum 41. That like.
I mean, I was a skateboarder at the time. You were just basically a mosher. You know what I mean? Like you were either a Ned or a mosher.
Was it like a Tony Hawk's sort of influence, or were you watching like the skateboarding videos?
You know what, Cammy influenced me to skate as well. Like, he was probably a massive influence in loads of my life. He was my big brother.
He was like, having to do with the Hot Kill as well.
Yeah, he was a graffiti artist. But he done skateboarding for a little bit, but he wasn't really any good at it. And that kind of made me want to do it. But then I took it more seriously, and I became pretty good at it, man. But I think I'd done that till I was like, I don't know what age I started skateboarding at. Maybe like second year or something like that at school. And I'd done it till I was about 16. So like 3 or 4 years, but like every day hardcore.
Did you ever have any bad injuries?
Nah, I knew how to fall well. Like I just, like there was always a way of like how to land, you know, if things done. Like, I mean, I'd hit banged my head in that a couple of times, but nothing ever serious, never split anything open. Like, and out of all my friends that done it, there was maybe 14 or 15 of us, I was the one with the most bottle. Like, it's the same with tattooing, man. It's like, I know I'll never be the best at it, but you're trying to be the best you possibly can be within your group or within your region or with, you know what I mean?
That sort of thing spurs you on,
Yeah, I just wanted to be better than them. So to be good at skateboarding, you had to have bottle. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was like jumping off big things, trying big things, taking falls, stuff like that. You're never going to get good unless you take risks.
Yeah.
It's the same with tattooing, anything in life. It's the same with fucking...
That's true,
how to make money, you know what
If
I mean?
you don't take the risk, you're never going to do anything,
you know what I mean? And it was like, well, we'll go into bands, like, you're both in bands.
Is that how you stopped the skateboard then?
Nah, like, I stopped skateboarding when I was 16 and I started to get more interested in birds. Like everyone does, you know what I mean? It's, you know, you get to that age and like, you know, fanning about on a skateboard, like when you're fucking 16, 17 years old, it's a bit of an ick for women. So, I got more into... I got more into fucking... I don't want to say fucking that word, because I've got a wife to be soon. You know what I mean? And so that was it.
Hello, Rachel.
Yeah. Hi, babe. Love you. That's what got me out skateboarding, and then
you pick up a bass guitar.
Yeah, well, I was like, I just got more into like going out and stuff like that, you know. Like, well, I mean, I didn't really start going out until I was about 18, because when I was 18, I looked about 14. You know what I mean, or 13.
You were
really young, man.
You forget about before the tattoos and stuff, man. But
I don't know what happened though, because now I'm 38 and look about 40. Everyone used to always say to me when I was younger that fucking, oh, don't worry about that. You'll age better. Eh? I'm like, well, how has that happened? Because fucking I looked young when I needed to look old, and now I look fucking old when I need to look young. You know,
kind of win.
Yeah, like fucking balding grey old man. Like it's fucking mental. Loads of lines in my eyes, but at least the tattoos hide that a little bit.
I remember the first time I met you, the first time I heard Monroe. Right, I remember this. I was in a band called The Trend, who were, if no one's ever heard them, they're like
were you in The Trend originally?
Yeah. I was in The Trend. They were just like a sort of, we classed ourselves a punk band.
Yeah,
we just were like five lads.
I remember.
Just
I came and seen you loads.
There was a bit of a movement. What?
Yeah. Billy Mitchell and then
Billy.
Who's the lead singer again?
Sean Kenny was the lead singer. He lives in Glasgow.
Like mad, Like
he had these troubles. He got himself clean and he's been doing loads for the recovery thing for years now. Yeah, it was Sean, Josh, Billy, Dan Loftus, and me.
Yeah.
I was good at the time. Like you said, there was a wee bit of a falling in that. But
tripping, everybody tripping. That was the tune, was it?
I really loved that tune, yeah. But the first time I heard Monroe, first time I met you, we were playing a gig in the Caird Hall.
Caird Hall, yeah.
I came across your sound check, and I remember hearing Gregor sang and the tunes that you were doing, and I was just like, oh my God. I was like, we need to up our game. The twist was generally born. Like the idea started there.
You wanted somebody with a better voice.
Oh, straight away.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
But, so you had a
great voice. But hearing you play that first time.
Not as good a voice as Gregor though.
Oh, Gregor.
Yeah. You know who he actually sounds like? It's a mad, right? You should listen to this. But you know the Snuts?
Yeah.
You see, they've got a demo, right? Of their tune Glasgow.
I know that.
Mate, listen to the demo, and you're like, somebody sent me and was like, "Holy fuck, man!" How it starts sounding like. Honestly, mate, I'm like, I'd actually like listened to that thinking, he's fucking heard us. Like he sounds like, honestly,
It was like an underground band. The two tunes was before your time. Is that right?
Yeah,
that one and now I'm a little bit.
No, that's
older.
before your time. That's before your time.
They songs were incredible.
Yeah,
like Folklore Dundee stuff. Like you would still see those tunes pop up like years after it was done. Yeah. So, but the first time we met, obviously I knew Cammy. I'd met Cammy at community service. So I went back with the backstage bit. Remember the hall?
Yeah.
I looked at you straight away and I was just like, "You're Cammy's brother." Because like you said, you're a baby face.
I knew who you were as well because Cammy told me about you on community service. Was it not for fucking assault or something?
It was, yeah.
I used to remember that. I think Cammy used to say to me, "Yeah, Kris is a bit of a fucking nutter, like," and I was like a wee bit like intimidated by.
We kicked off with it off. But remember when we played your EP launch?
Yeah, you supported that.
There's a photo of me and you from that night for years ago when we were dead young. But remember I told you your last song I want to do is Stage Invasion.
Yeah, there's a photo of me. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm on the stage like this, all proud because the stage has been invaded by everybody.
Mate, I found the photo of Liam Gallagher wearing the exact same polo shirt as me. He had nearly the exact same haircut. Mate, I'll need to show you after.
Fred Perry, I remember
Fred
that.
Perry, honestly, man, you're like that, and I'm sweating in it, and he's sweating in it, and I'm like that. That is fucking weird.
I remember exactly what you're on, but you're wearing a white Fred Perry.
A grey Fred Perry with like a black and pink thingy.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a great night. Yeah. Like the band scene was incredible.
The Caird Hall gig for us was probably the gig where people started to know who we were because everyone knew who the Trend were. You had a big following, and I remember like yous were on, and when we went on, everybody booed.
Did they?
Yeah, no, honestly, man, I remember that, and they were like, who the fuck are these guys? But by the end, they weren't booing. Yeah, then that was when like I started to see people at our gigs that we never knew, and it wasn't just family and friends and stuff like that. I mean, we never done as well as you guys, you know what I mean? But that was a good moment, man. You know what I mean? That was like a fucking hell, man. We might actually do okay. You've always got this dream in your head at the time, don't you, that you think that you might make it.
That time, yeah. I remember, like, see, going back to first hearing you in that Caird Hall and that gig you're on about, I like see Gregor's voice and like the tunes that you were playing and everything. It sounded incredible.
Yeah,
like that was for me. It was like a whoa, shit. We need to up our game.
Gregor led the band. I mean, we were all very basic with our instruments.
You know what? Some of the best bands are basic with their instruments for.
I think when you have somebody that's got a strong vocal and they can come up with like a good like catchy
sound.
Melody.
Yeah.
But there was also another boy in the band, Davey Gurley, and he was the most musically talented out of us all, and he just always had good ideas for good hooks and good little solos and like good little interludes and songs, and you know, you could just come up with a few lyrics that would just like have, you know, like a little catchy hook in it, like, and they weren't even maybe that special, the words, but they just you know what I mean, they just had that. He was just a good creative mind. Like, I
remember the video, there was three, there was you, him and Gregor,
yeah, that's right,
and getting, was it
in our bro,
yeah, because I think at the Cape Tall gig he wasn't playing, was he Gary Brown was in the band at that time?
No, he was playing.
Was
he?
We
were a 5-piece, and then we went down to a 4-piece. We all had the fallout with Davey. Davey's a great guy. I was at school with him and that, but he was just a little bit more serious than everyone else.
It's hard in bands, man.
Yeah, oh mate, honestly, I see the fallouts we used to have, but Davey was kind of like, oh, he's not really good enough, he's not really good enough, he's not really good enough. And it was kind of happening to all of us, but none of us never really knew about that. And then we were like, we're not really fucking good enough. Well, fuck you.
Yeah, no, that's,
you know what I mean? Like, so we can write stuff without you. And you know what? Maybe it wasn't as good like when he left, but we were happy as a 4-piece, and Gregor started playing guitar. Remember, like but originally he was just the singer. But Gregor could play a bit of rhythm. He wasn't great at. Gary, he moved on to lead. He wasn't great at either. But we got through it. You know what I mean? We were a basic sounding band anyway. So,
like I say, I went into folklore. Like, you used to pop in parties years later.
Yeah,
you would find that EP there.
Yeah, I mean, here, what a scene at the time. Yeah, I've lived through that. Like, I just think, like, I feel sorry for people now because it's like, what scene is there?
I trying to explain this to
20 years ago, man. See the view have just done the 20th year anniversary.
Hats off to the Buskers.
I tried to get tickets for it, but they sold out 3 nights in the Barrowlands in the pre-sale, basically.
Did it?
Yeah, like in seconds. I don't know if they've sold out so much down south. I'm not really sure. They probably have, but I thought, that'll be, because obviously that album as well, that's what they'll be playing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a total reminiscent time, isn't it?
Got nominated for a Mercury Award at the time.
Got number 1.
Yeah.
It was a number 1
Only
album.
First Scottish band to
get
like
HMV, the big poster of them outside it. It was like the whole height of HMV and that. Like, I mean, at the time it was mega. And you just got to play with them.
Yeah,
numerous times. It was unreal. I mean, that must have been unreal.
The moment for me that I remember, like, I was like, holy shit with them. It was like, they got to number 50 in the charts for West Little DJs, and they were in the driver's school having a party on the Sunday when they got the chart place in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's going on? Yeah, that's crazy.
No. I remember hearing the, like, album before it came out officially. I remember, like, everybody
heard it, yeah.
And I was like, which was amazing, you know, but then you got the like actual proper recorded version out of the studio, and it was
so much cleaner.
Because I remember hearing Superstar Tradesman and thought it was a pretty shitty song, and then like, well, not a shitty song, still a half decent song, but then like it came out like properly recorded, and I was like, oh, you fucker, man, that is a tune, you know what I mean? And they got like number 2 or 3 with Same Jeans. Yeah.
It's still, see what's funny, right? Seeing like indie sort of chart things that they do, it usually comes in about number 1. Or like between 1 and 3, usually is like the greatest
it's a great tune. They had better tunes, I think. Like, well, I mean, that was most commercial.
Yeah.
But they had that. I mean, to be honest with you, I loved the Views first 3 albums, and then sort of lost track after that a little bit.
I think it got dead repetitive after that. To be fair.
Yeah, like I loved them, and just I think kind of 4. I mean, I think I can name 1 song on the 4th album. But the first 3 for me were top notch, like especially 1 and 2.
I think 1 and 2. I heard 2 was heavily underrated.
2 didn't do well, and it was a shit hot album.
There was some really great songs on it. I
got to like number 16 in the charts or something.
I think I remember Lily Allen. I think it placed at like number 6 or number 4 or something the first week, and then just went right up.
Yeah,
because Lily Allen went out to buy it. Because remember there was like a wee feud between them. At the time. But yeah, it was nuts. Like seeing Dundee boys do that was absolutely crazy. It was like. It made the people a lot more creative. Like we were talking about the bands and stuff like that. Like because that happened, that's the reason I ended up in a sort of band. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, same. So I just wanted to be like them. You know, at the time, like they were my idols, and like I remember seeing them even at a couple of our gigs, but like was just always too embarrassed to go and speak to them or that. Just like, or just think you were too cool, like something. Because I'm not like arse like them. Even though in my head I was like,
the driver influence in the music scene used to be a hindrance to me because they fucking hated me. But I've got many a story. But dude, I know what you mean. Like, there's one video online where we played with Kieran. I remember thinking it was a big thing at the time. We played Realisation with him.
Yeah.
Fucking halfway through it, he stands on Billy's guitar lead. It just goes silent. Like you watch this video on YouTube, absolutely silent. And you hear me going, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I remember even like, I mean, we've never played anything as serious as that, but even when somebody snapped the guitar string, you know, like, and it would always be Gary absolutely fucking hammering on his guitar.
Well, he used to go mental for dropping a drumstick.
Fucking demented specky posse, like, fucking, looking at you, I'm like, you fucking retard. And then you'd have to, like, borrow some other cunt's guitar, that was like, you know, like, he was supporting you or something, for the next song.
Having to ask for a shot of somebody else.
The last song sounded like an absolute train wreck because somebody's guitar string was broke.
The thing about being in a band back then, you had next to no money, man.
Oh, mate.
Like, everything went into
I worked
the
in a
band.
call centre at the time. Yeah.
You were in, was it BT?
It was Sitel at the time at the technology part, then we got transferred to BT, yeah. And I've done that right up till I started tattooing.
Right, here we go. We'll get into the tattooing stories. Purely, like, because, like, see your story for me, right?
Yeah.
At the time, you know, like, I didn't really have much going on. Remember when I used to work in the incinerator?
Yeah.
I was miserable.
Man, I remember that, yeah.
Bad
remember
times.
the big rats and that.
Oh, the flies, the rats. But, like,
He's taking videos and photos of these rats and they were like fucking dogs.
mate, 2 year I was in there. Like, it was one of the things for me, like, one of the biggest things that inspired me was seeing what you were doing.
Yeah.
And some, like,
Thanks, man.
oh no, it's true. It's 100% true because I was watching what you were doing, and you were doing something that you loved. You were doing really well at it. And at the time, like, we were in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And, like, you were like the Don to us, man. You're like the big massive house. Like, you know what I mean?
Rented.
Well, yeah. But even
Fucked
still,
after loads of parties.
yeah, that house got fucked.
Yeah, I definitely lost my deposit when I fucking gave my house back.
We'll not mention the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that to me, that was mad inspiring to me, man. And like, a lot of people, like some friends, like, I'll be jealous of what people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, I was never like that with me.
Nah, you were never, not even a feeling I got like that from you.
I was inspired by what you were doing. That's what inspired me to go on. So this is why I find, like, your stories, like, madly interesting. I want to get the story out, but it's, like, so key to my story as well.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievably. Like, I learned social media from you. Like, I did. I learned social media from you. You were the first person that was
Which is
saying,
ironic because I'm actually fucking awful at it.
well,
you're smashing it now, you know what I mean? It's like
That's-
you're so good at it, man.
it's like my greatest tool.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're really good on the camera and natural, and I think that's what people like more now than actually the product.
You know what? It changed, yeah, because it used to be like before
Mate,
and after.
honestly, see my Instagram, like, see if you look at, like, my views on stuff, it'll be like 2,000 for a tattoo, 3,000 for a tattoo, 4,000, you know, like, you know, and then a photo of me, 50,000, like, a video of me, 40,000. I posted like a photo or a little small video of when Silver, my new little girl, was born. 250k views. It's just like, and then a tattoo gets like fucking 100 views.
Exactly
it just shows you how much the dynamic in social media is.
It's exactly the same with us with clothes. If we post clothes or trainers, you're talking like 5,000-6,000. You put someone else in, that's where you get the high numbers.
Yeah.
It is weird.
I read a thing the other day and it was like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like basically, people don't want to see the work, they want to see you working. And I'm like, that's so fucking true. Like, they want, I'm the same. Like, I watch videos on TikTok of like somebody like building a media wall and I enjoy it and I sit and watch it for 10 minutes. But like, I don't give a fuck what the media wall looks like at the end. So I get it, you know what I mean? It's like, but like, I just don't feel natural on camera. So like, anything I post with me on camera is scripted. Like, I read off like a teleprompter.
We've had a discussion about this before.
On my phone, and it's like, I know when I'm speaking, it's like, it's more robotic. It's not really the real me, you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes when I post it, I'm like, should I even post that? Like, is that going to put people off? Because I seem like a little spastic, you know what
I would not see like for you, I wouldn't worry about that because going back even to how you started, right? The tattoos, you were the first person I seen like blue realism like out the water. I had never seen any tattoos to the level when you even just started. I remember it was like Dave's tattoo, like you had the Buddha on the thingy.
But I mean, at the time, it was so limited, wasn't it? Because there was hardly any tattoo artists in Dundee, you know. So like, what I was doing was probably like slightly pushing the boundaries locally, but then like new tattoo studios started opening, like Rock and Roll, and Polish artists started coming over. And for some fucking reason, the Polish, mate, are incredible tattoo artists, like incredible realistic tattoo artists. And there's a guy, he still tattoos now actually, in Portaferry called Rafal.
I remember him. He used to do the rock and roll.
Yeah. And we speak in that now. But he'd been tattooing a long time. I remember him telling me he started tattooing when he was 14, you know, like in Poland. Like, he come over and he started doing like colour realism, especially here. And I just thought, oh my fucking God, like, I need to up my game. Like
you need people like that.
You need it, man. Like, these sort of people inspire me to be better. I'm not like, you are jealous, but you're using them as a tool.
It makes you go away and think.
100%, man. Like, because it's them people that came into this city that made me go, I need to get better. Like, I need to work out how to get better. Get competition. And like, he's obviously an amazing artist. You know, he does really well as well. But you could start to see the gap close of skill.
Fairly quickly.
But I mean, he's still
good.
Mate, he's high level realism artist. So yeah, I can't fault his work. Definitely not. And he was I don't even really like saying that because he's from Dundee and he's competition, but yeah, he was an inspiration for me to get better. 100%.
Yeah, that's cool. You say that, man.
Yeah. Just being honest, man. You know. So
like you said, I think you need that. You need somebody to look at that's doing really well, and it makes you want to do better. It makes you want to like go away and create something. Like I'm saying it, the things that I used to see you make, like I subconsciously, I'm not saying I learned art, but I subconsciously learned so much for just sitting watching what you were doing at the time.
Yeah.
Like, what's it called again? Symmetricism.
Geometric.
Well, all the geometric patterns, like the flow of life and all this sort of stuff.
And symmetry and like stuff like that.
Symmetry was the biggest thing I learned from you, because like it used to like look at a tattoo and think that looks cool, and then you would show you and you'd be like, no, look.
Yeah, I know, but mate, it's the same with anything, isn't it? It's like
you'd be like that's cool, and you'd be like, oh fuck.
When I look at something that is not my skill, I'm like, that looks fucking class. But if somebody's really good at that, then they'll look at it and go, nah, look at this, this, and this, and I'm like, oh yeah. You know, it's like I'm looking at it every day. Like, so I'm when I'm looking at somebody else's tattoo, I'm not looking to see how good it is. I'm looking for faults. Right. And I know other artists are doing the exact same thing with me. They're zooming in and going, yeah, but look at that bit. You know, because nothing's perfect. And and you're never ever going to be at a level where you're the best or you've got nothing left to learn. Like, you're improving consistently. You know what I mean? And every single day, you know, you have bad days and good days, but every single day and every single year, there's little tweaks to my skill and little things that I learn, you know, just like, even like little things like that I've just recently started to learn, like values in tattoos. And when I say values, I mean like how readable it is from a distance is more important than the little details. So now I've started to strip back little details because I've seen a lot of my tattoos from a few years ago and they looked great on the day and haven't aged well. So now I'm stripping back the detail and making sure from a distance those blacks in that tattoo look really black. Those greys look like a really smooth grey, and then there's loads of skin left. So from a distance, it's really readable, and the values hold up well, rather than the details, because it doesn't matter how detailed you make something. In 5-10 years' time, all that detail is going to go, and the tattoo is going to be a complete waste of fucking time. So, like, that's something I've really learned recently, is to strip back the reference I'm looking at, not doing it exactly as the image, because it's an organ. You know what I mean? Skin's an organ. It's not going to translate the same as a white A4 bit of paper. Nobody's white. I mean, we're as white as we fucking can be here. I mean, I'd rather work in Scotland than in Spain, because your tattoos are going to look like shit. Unlike people that are darker skinned, you know what I mean? They're never going to look as good as on somebody pale.
So did you think to see that direction now and going forward, that's how you'll plan tattoos? Like going forward to be like more simplistic?
Yeah, 100%. I've completely changed my design approach as well. It's like sometimes I would like really, really like hyper focus on making a design super cool and hyper detailed, but sometimes the design can be really basic, and if you nail it and you get all the values right, like it reads well, then it looks better than all these hyper detailed tattoos. So it's like now everything I strip back, I enhance the contrast loads, make things really black and really white, and then have like maybe 1 or 2 grey tones and then a couple of little white highlights. And like people that are coming back to me now with their healed tattoos, I'm like, that looks so much fucking better. Like, I'm so much more happier with the way things are going. I'm far from finished learning, but like
every day's a school day, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely going in the right direction for improving. And it's mad to think that I've been doing it for 15 years because I still feel as enthusiastic and I still feel as inspired and I still feel as driven as I was on day one, you know, but it's just different things now. It's like you could really tweak the little things rather than worry about the things at the start, like the big things, like I'm not making a fuck up, or like I'm not even thinking about that anymore. Like in my head, I'm not fucking that up. I'm just trying to make that as good as I could possibly make it. Yeah, it's like
for somebody like you, my first ever tattoo was funnily enough on you, and somebody who's had a shot at tattoo, and I remember finding it incredibly scary at the time. Like it's that pressure. That pressure is like that will make or break people.
You want me to show that?
You'll put a picture. Well, for reference, on the same day I got this swallow here.
It still looks okay too.
That looks great. Yeah, this is years ago now as well. Talking of
that must be like fucking man. That must have been before the Scottish referendum.
It was.
When was that? Like
2014, because we got them for the remember.
Yeah.
Remember after it, you've done the day thing.
Yeah, the day for the food banks.
Yeah, because loads of people said to me they think that looks like a swastika, and I'm like, how does that look like a fucking swastika? It's 45.
The swastika's a symbol of peace anyway. What are they on about?
Oh, you get everything with that. I forgot what was going on about there actually. What was that? Oh, the swallow. Yeah, tattooed this on me, and then you done it for a laugh. Let me tattoo it on you.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm telling this story because I got away with the first one. And then I thought I was actually going to be quite good. And then I went to tattoo.
What was he done the second one again?
His uncle.
Oh, right, okay.
We went in steaming.
Because you don't have a good mentor.
Oh, mate. You should look at it. It was a daisy. It looks like it was done on safari, man. It's really, the petals are everywhere. And I was like, I've just been remembering it being so much easier when I was doing it with you.
Yeah. Maybe just because I'm your mate.
I've given up probably better.
Like I was telling you earlier about that story.
Were you ever like that when any of the tattoos going on?
What, nervous?
Yeah. When you started out?
The Stevie Drummond story.
We'll go with Stevie Drummond story, yeah. Let's go with Stevie's story.
Yeah. So when I first started, I done a small tattoo on one of my exes, like when it was just 4 words, sorry. And that kind of went okay. Cammy was there. It was on somebody I was really comfortable with. And then my second tattoo was on my pal at the time, Stevie Drummond. He was actually passed away now, but God bless him.
R.I.P. Stevie, yeah. For reference, Stevie was a great guy.
He was a great guy. He was a troubled soul, but an unbelievable guy when he wasn't, on it or drinking or whatever. But yeah, he was the second person I tattooed, and he said, "Callum, don't worry about it, man. You're my mate. I don't care if you fuck it up." But
for reference, Stevie's not the guy that you wanted to fuck up on a tattoo.
Stevie was an absolute maniac if you got on the wrong side of him. So, like, I had this extra pressure of these nerves when I was tattooing him, and
what was the tattoo?
It was a passage that he got for. It was his ex, well, not his ex now, but obviously, but like at the time he was with a girl, and she was a great mum, so it was something to do with like her being a great mum. It was like 4 lines of words, okay. So I went from 4 words to like, maybe 30 words or something like that. And I just remember like putting my hand down to do it when he was there, and it was just like every time I got to the line. And then I just couldn't do it. Like I just totally whiteyed, and then Cammy was like, "I'll take over and I'll line it for you. You can colour it in." It was a bit easier colouring in than lining. So I managed to colour it in for him, and that was like 4 months before I properly started tattooing again because it put me off.
Do you get the fear from that?
Yeah, I was like, this isn't for me. Like tattooing's too hard. Like I don't want to do it. Like I was like, and Cammy went, "Look, just take a couple of months off. You're overthinking it." Like I'm like, right, cool. And this was maybe in like the August, and then I went in the January. I went to Cammy, right, I want to give it a go again. And then I started tattooing full time in April, tattooing people I never knew. So it was just like from January to April. Like not even really much of an apprenticeship, just kind of like chucked in at the deep end. And back then in 2011, it was you could kind of do that because it was like there wasn't really much competition, and like
I remember how good you were at that. Like
I remember after about a year thinking, "Fucking hell, I've got all right at this pretty fast." But I mean, when I look at that work now, I'm embarrassed. But at the time I thought it was okay. It was that was my first tattooing experience, and another thing actually I was going to tell you about was you were probably going to ask me about this anyway, because like the worst fuck up I've ever made.
Oh yeah, let's go for it then. Yeah.
So I was tattooing a guy all day, and he got like 2 pocket watches, one for each kid, and he wanted like the times of birth and that on it, and dead nice guy, and so like, you know, pocket watches have got like the little bits at the top where the chains go through and stuff like that. Yeah. So like when I was making the design on like the app I was using at the time, it was like there was one here. It was on a calf, and it had like dubs going through it and stuff like that, and clouds, and then there was another one above it. But both them little loop bits at the top were facing the same way. Right, so I thought, it might look nice if one's facing that way and one's facing that way. So rather than just moving the clock around, you know, so one was facing that way and one, I flipped it. Right? And it's Roman numerals. So Roman numerals are just X's and I's and V's. So if you flip any of them round, they're still X's and I's and V's. You know what I mean? So I hadn't realised I'd done this, right? And I tattooed him all day. And I tattooed the entire thing. And then I went to him at the end. So what time of birth are you wanting on that? And he went, whatever it was, 9:10 or something like that. So I went, right, cool. And then I went to the second clock. And then when I went to go to the 9, it was a 3. And this, I took a total whitey. I started absolutely pissing sweat. And I basically I couldn't come clean at the time. Like I'd bing tattooing for 6 hours. I was knackered. I thought I just can't own up to this. So I actually tattooed the hands on at the right time, but back to front as well. And like he looked in the mirror, but obviously when he looked in the mirror, I looked the right way around.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That, yeah.
So he went home, obviously, and I thought, he's going to notice, you know what I mean? Like, because he's got one the right way and one the wrong way. And he messaged me a photo, but he's like, something's not right about the clock. And I was like, just send us a photo, mate. I'm not sure, you know, like, God bless him. He doesn't even know I've lied about this whole time. So he watches
yeah,
this,
good time to be honest.
I went, oh, fuck, mate, sorry, I've done that back to front. I've not realised that. So I ended up having to, like, pay for his laser. And it was like 10 sessions or something. He just had to get the Roman numerals lasered off, not the full tattoo.
Oh, yeah, so you just changed the numerals.
Yeah. And it ended up costing me basically what he paid me for the tattoo to get it lasered off. So, and then he came back. And then I remember when he came back, I put the Roman numerals on the right way. And I was like, so it's 9:10, yeah. And then I went, right, okay. I drew the hands on. And I went, you want to just double check that in the mirror, mate? And he went, yeah. And he looked, he went, mate, am I just being paranoid, or is that 8:10 you've done of that? But luckily I'd only drawn it at this point. And I was like, oh, no. I actually had. Was waiting to fuck it up again, But I think it's just because I was so anxious, you know what I mean? Like about getting it right. I was like, oh my fucking God, man, this guy's never going to come back to me. And funnily enough, he mailed me about 2 weeks ago. Just said, mate, your work's unreal, can't wait to get my work done by you. And I was like, surprised you even fucking ever thought about coming back to me again.
Your work stands up, man.
I mean, you're human at the end of the day. Everybody makes errors.
That's a hard one because it's just so slight,
It's so slight, man.
Especially when tattooing somebody all day.
It's not something you notice, man, like until you add the hands on. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, like, I'll never make that mistake again when I'm doing fucking pocket watches. I actually done one yesterday.
It shows you how easy it is to make a wee error like that.
That's the worst one I've ever done. I've had a couple other small ones, but I mean, that's really the most memorable one.
Should we tell the story about the time I almost lost my leg?
I think we should tell that story.
Well, don't mention any names. But we'll teach you. Somebody was learning how to tattoo on me, on my leg. Everybody still goes on about that tattoo. To be fair, they always think it's Che Guevara. But no, John Lennon's face in it. Yeah. John Lennon's face in it. Yeah,
I always thought it was Che Guevara as well. Yeah.
Oh, that hurt like hell. All I remember,
what the tattoo?
The tattoo hurt like hell. The tattoo went on for 4 hours. Like back in the day, we've got to say we had this whole. I used to love kicking about with you. It was brilliant. And when I worked in the incinerator on my free days, I would come down to the tattoo shop, see what was going on. Blah, blah. So I ended up a guinea pig one day. And I had this heavy black tattoo that went on my leg.
Was it his first tattoo as well?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, you were the
very first tattoo.
Yeah, very first tattoo. Yeah.
If I didn't pan it the way I panned it, I might have tested passed the test of time. But I panned it kind of horrible. All I remember is for 4 hours going through some of the worst pain I've ever went through. And then I went to an Noel Gallagher gig in Dublin for 2 days with Declan's old man.
Remember you were going to be the whole time. I said, man, I feel like this. It doesn't feel like this when Callum tattoos me.
Right, okay, yeah. So I'd had a lot of tattoos for you at the time. Yeah. And yeah, I was waking up, my leg was getting bigger and bigger, and the pain was unbelievable. I was drunk for 2 days, so that's how I managed to get through it. But it was one day I woke up and the bed sheets were stuck to my leg. So, and they wouldn't come off. So I've ripped the bed sheet clean off my leg, right? And I swear to God, it's took the ink and the scab clean off my leg.
Stuck to the bed.
So I'll show you it there. Horrific. So the pain gets worse and worse, and then eventually I get back to Scotland, and then I go to the hospital. And the tells I've got was it cellulitis?
Cellulitis, yeah.
Blood poisoning, yeah.
It's like it's some sort of cell damage in the leg. I don't think it's blood poisoning. It's not like what's the word that they call blood? Sepsis. No,
sepsis, yeah.
It's not sepsis. But it could go to sepsis if it's not treated. Did you end up just getting antibiotics or something?
Antibiotics for a couple of days. It hurt like hell. That was that was one of the worst tattooing experiences.
Do you know what's
ever
funny as well about it as well? Obviously, I'm not mentioning the name, but I got a text off him and he was so confident. Like, he was like, "This is easy. This is like, I can't believe how easy this is." And that. And I messaged him. And I remember the time he told me.
I'm going to bring him down a peg.
Yeah. Because I thought, he's too confident. He's only on one tattoo. Like, yeah. And then you obviously messaged me to say, like, mate, what the fuck, man? You know, you didn't message him. I messaged him and he was sitting in KFC at the time. And he said that he fucking just couldn't even eat his KFC and he just wanted to burst into tears.
Kim, this is the effect it could have on you for it.
Yeah.
This is the effect it could really have on, like, even like, obviously that was an extreme one, first tattoo, whatever happened. But even like we were going on about those wee details in those Roman numerals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's cost you 6 hours for you is a lot of work. Yeah. Like mentally sitting going, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So to lose that just from like a daft wee thing like that.
Tiny wee thing at the end of a big tattoo. You know what, man? There's one guy that I've tattooed as well. The same thing happened to him. He ended up in hospital. Like,
really?
Yeah, I swear down, man. And it wasn't anything I don't think I'd done wrong. Like, it was tattooed in the same way as I tattooed everyone and been highly recommended.
Oh no, just about the skin.
I don't know, mate, what happened. I don't know if he's been tattooed anywhere else since. It was a boy, Brad Loftus. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Some Fintry, I think, as well. He was a really, really nice guy, and he came in and he got something done on his arm from me, and he was bleeding quite heavy, mate. But I just thought, you know, some people are just like that, and but I thought it was fine. The tattoo looked good in that on the day, and he messaged me like a few weeks later and said, "Mate, that's not really healed that well." Like, and I was like, "Well, that's fine, man. Just, you know, I'll come touch it up." And then he sent me a photo, mate, and it was like half the tattoo had disappeared, and I was like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like, how is that? And so I'm like, I'm going to need to do that whole thing, basically, again. So he came in once it had healed, or I thought it had healed, and, you know, it'd been a couple of months or whatever. And I started tattooing him again, and, mate, he was bleeding even heavier the second time. And I was like, he's bleeding and going really red, you know. And, mate, like, now that I'm more experienced, I would have just went, mate, something's not right. Like you're bleeding extremely heavy, like the ink's doesn't seem to be taken as well. But at the time, because I'd got him in to cover it up, I'm thinking to myself, stupidly, like, rather than just saying, this is just going to sound like an excuse, like I can't be fucked doing this because it's a free tattoo.
The pressure's sort of on you.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd done it again and thought, I think this is going to need touched up again. I had that in my heart of hearts, you know, like I should have just trusted my gut. And he messaged me like 3 or 4 days later, like on a drip in hospital, saying, "Mate, I'm in hospital, like I've got cellulitis," like, you know, like same thing as what happened to you, but like it was a big tattoo, so it must have been pretty serious, on antibiotic drip and stuff like that. And mate, like I have never ever forgot about that day. Like the guilt, even though like I didn't do anything wrong, like I don't know if he was maybe allergic to the ink, or I don't know, like I've not tattooed him any sort of harsher way than I've done with anybody else. It was like, but like that really affected my confidence. Like even like still to this day, I'm like, man, remember that happened? I feel so guilty about it. Like I just wish I could fix it. I mean, there's no way he would ever come back to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if he's been tattooed elsewhere since and he's been okay. But at the time, to me, it was like he's either allergic to something I'm using, or he ain't able to get tattooed. I don't know. But I mean, I've seen him in the past, and I still speak to him. He's sounding that, but yeah, that was a horrible one. Like
I'd imagine that would
really fucked in my head for a while. But it is what it is. You know, I moved on and it's never happened again since.
It's not. I was going to say it's not a common occurrence. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's one that sticks with me.
See, when you say the heavy bleeding as well, just like I don't know, but yeah, no, like
some people are on blood thinners as well, and they don't tell you on their forum. You know, you sign like a consent form, and like you ask people, you know, if they're on anything and that. And some people just lie, but I'll know now. You know, I know if somebody's on something. I'm like, mate, you're on blood thinners or something's going on. Like I would just say to somebody now, but it never happens. It's never happened since. Like not to that extent. I
think it's pretty cool that you've came on and you've said like the fuck ups you've had and stuff. And a lot of people do that to start.
Well, mate, you're human. You know, like I don't pretend that I'm something. Even now, still, you know, the tattoos I post and all that, like. Sometimes they've not just been as good as they look in one go. You know, people have had to come back and get things fixed and get things touched up. And, you know, like so
remember, this is the thing about your waiting list. Like, remember back in the day, man, you were going about with half a tattoo for about 6 months.
Yeah.
I had the Bob Marley. We had like half his head.
Yeah, just his lips done or something.
That was like because you had to wait because the demand was so high.
Well, mate, see now. I open my I open and close my diary now. It works better for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it creates some sort of social media hype, like kind of, it's, you know, like a fucking, I don't like comparing it to this, but like a Supreme drop or something.
You know, yeah, but
and it's like, you know, people are like, oh, he's not opened his diary for a year, fucking, you know, so people just book.
Yeah,
and they book multiple appointments. So because I'm always doing big work, I actually don't really need like a high turnover of clients. Like 50 clients can fill an entire year for me. Mm-hmm. So I opened my diary on my birthday, 2025 there, August the 4th, and within the first hour of opening it, I booked an entire year. Booked from January to December in 10 minutes. And then I left it open for like another 12 hours, like just because I thought, just to give people a chance. Mm. And then I booked from January to May and then the rest of that time. So like I booked, what's that, like fucking 17 months in 12 hours?
That's what you want.
And like, so I've not, my diary's been closed since August, like, and I've got till May still of work. You know, so I've still got a year of work still, and I've not opened my diary since August. I mean, like, that is crazy busy, man. And I know that, mate, if you go on my Instagram, I've got 14,000 followers. That's not a lot. Like, if you go on people's Instagrams that I know that are good tattoo artists, have got 200,000 or 300,000 followers, I know for a fact they're not as busy as me. And I think the main thing is people are loyal to me. I'm well known locally. I mean, you could be as well known if you want all over the world, have 300,000 or 400,000 followers. How many of them are going to actually get tattooed by you?
Yeah.
So those people that are coming to me are coming back time and time again. It's like just a loyal following locally. And like, for me, it's not just the tattoo that they get at the end of it. It's the relationships that you build with your clients as well. And I honestly think that that's 80 or 90% of the battle. Because I get on with everybody.
You've got to sit with them for a long time, man.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with them. It doesn't matter what they're into, who they are. Like, you'll find a way to connect with that person. And at the end of the day, like, to connect with someone is what everybody wants. You know what I mean? So if they could feel like they could come in and they can connect with me on a higher level than just tattooing, then we're both winning. You know, like, they're going to come back to me. They're not going to go to anyone else. They've gained trust in me, you know. So, like, I'm probably, I mean, I don't know, but I would say that I was probably one of the busiest artists in the UK. I mean, who's got a waiting list that long? Like, you know, it's... I've always
said, like, I've got, like, it's hard to describe because I've got this inside knowledge of your career. Mm-hmm. I've seen it firsthand. It used to blow me away some of the stuff you could do.
Cheers, man.
You used to genuinely blow me away. We could go through a big list of tattoos. One that comes into my mind was one with a gas mask and like people coming down in parachutes on a boy's back.
Yeah, that was I was on Ali Haddon, Nordine's brother.
Yeah.
And at the time, we didn't have iPads or that then. So like I couldn't, like, now I would get a back and I would create it and I'd move things about and stuff and you could fuck about with sizes, but at the time that was like I like that image, I like that image, I like that image.
You fitted it, yeah.
I would just trace them all separately and then you would just go, right, that fucking looks good there.
Yeah.
That looks good there. So like at the time it was guesswork. You didn't even really know what that was going to look like. And I remember like how well that tattoo resonated.
That one like, I always remember. Just that, there's so many tattoos yours that blew us away. Even like I remember we used to go in your living room and you had that big skull.
Yeah, because I done canvases before tattooing.
The big massive canvas and stuff. Like I think the demand is there because of the level. Like I always say, you took it to another level because it's the level I've seen. I seen it because of you. I'm always like this biased thing. I always say that I think
it's because you're my mate.
But at the same time, I always thought you were the best at that. I always believed that. I always did. Like, remember, like I used to be hyped to see when you were finishing a tattoo back in the day. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, everybody wanted to see what it was going to
It's
look
funny
like.
now though, because like we were speaking about earlier on about how people prefer like just seeing people and that now, and I get it because I resonate more with seeing people as well. But like, it's like nobody really cares anymore because it's like everyone knows I can tattoo.
This is it. You blow them away too much.
It's just like people are like, oh cool, he's done another good tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like nobody really cares that much
how do
anymore.
you evolve with that? Like how? This is the thing. You've always got to evolve.
Yeah.
And like to draw, but like this is what I mean. You blew people away. I've been going on about you, but you were blowing people away as soon as you started 15 years ago. Like how do you keep that? Like,
mate, it's hard now because like you're like it says, your skill level is like it improves, but it's so slight. You know, it's more like your design work, and but I mean, there's so many good artists now, man. Like, there's so many good artists even like in Scotland, in the UK. You know, it's like your competition's so high, and like I'm not great with social media. Like, it's not because it's more because I don't have the time to be good at it. Like, I spend most of my time trying to make the tattoo design good because I think for me that's more important than being big time on social media, and it's more important for my client.
it definitely is.
You know,
it definitely
you know
is.
what I mean? It's like, yeah, I could start posting more on social media, and it might blow up or whatever. It's not gonna resonate to people that are going to get tattooed by me. It's like, it's just going to be an ego thing for me. It's going to be, yeah, I've got 200,000 followers. You know, like, who fucking cares? At the end of the day,
It's like what you said,
booked to the
they're all gonna
gunnels.
come, yeah.
It's like I can provide for my family. That's way more important for me than being famous on social media. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I'm nearly 40 years old. Who cares?
I guess funny. Like, I learned social media from you. Like,
Yeah.
I was sitting back watching like what you were doing and seeing, because like you were creating all this stuff and it was getting mad appreciation and that, and that's what took me to like the custom sort of trainer side of it. But
Yeah.
wanting to like this creative side where you make things. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just. That was a mad inspiring time for me watching all this different stuff going on.
Yeah.
Trying to take like each little bit from it.
Yeah.
Like if you were to play the social media card, I think you'd be massive.
Yeah.
One thing that goes with it, I think as well, is
How time consuming is it though?
oh god.
Oh man.
I'm the cleaning guy. He does all the social media.
Yeah. Like, I think if I was to do it, I would need somebody
You
to do it for me.
You definitely.
You know what
you
I mean? I
definitely
don't.
do.
I mean, like honestly, man. Like obviously, you know, I've just had another kid. I've got a little girl with autism. Mm-hmm. I've got a partner. I've got.
Running a business is hard.
I work 6 days a week. I have to design every single night. My dad just passed away in March. I now have his mum still alive, so my granny's still alive. I now have to help her with stuff. My mum's just had a stroke. Like, I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for us, but like, you know, there's a lot of things outside of work for me to deal with. Like, and I work hard, man. Like, I work really fucking hard. And like, the social media thing, I try and do as much as I can. But like, you've probably noticed yourself over the last, you know, like 7, 8, 9 months, I've not been posting that much. But it's genuinely because I can't find the time, mate. Like, I got one day off a week, and on that day, like, I just want to spend it with my family. I don't even have time for friends. Like, I don't have time to have mates anymore. You know what I mean? It's
everyone you've listed there is crazy busy. But
Yeah.
it's like what you're saying. You're more concerned about the work.
yeah,
Like I'm sitting saying you could be massive on social media because
Yeah.
what you could present.
Yeah.
But like you're not interested in like what you said, like making yourself like that and stuff.
But I would be if I wasn't busy.
yeah,
Because for me, providing's more important than anything. Like, so it's like if I had to like do a naked dance on TikTok or something like that, well, I probably would, mate. I'd sell my soul to the devil. You know what I mean? To provide for my family, I would. Like, it's like they're most important to me. Like, I want them to have a nice life, and I want them to. I want to be able to even like, you know, I've started thinking about, you know, investing and stuff like that, and having money in a pot for them for when I might not be here. Well, I will definitely not be here, but you know, depending on when that is, I don't know. But like, I'm starting to get that head, you know, that sort of 40-year-old head.
Heisenberg.
yeah. Something like that, man.
Well, no, that's.
But now, man, you've been smashing it on social media. I watch your stuff, man, and fucking
We have to be a social
You're
media
Dundee's
base.
number one man just now. The face,
I wouldn't say
of the Evening Telegraph.
Oh, nah. Yeah, they tell you like me just.
It's mad.
I got warned from a counsellor. She said you got to watch. Like the telly are going to love it when you come crashing down.
Yeah, the thing is, mate, though, what you're doing for like the knife stuff and that's unreal, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
I'm so proud of you, man. Like just watching you do that, like it's really doing something positive for the community, and there's not a lot in that in Dundee. So
I had to speak.
It's great to see you doing that, mate.
I had to speak in front of a class of third years. That was the first time I had to go into a proper school during the week.
How did you do that?
You start off rocky. It was like the start of this. Start off a bit rocky, and then you get into it. But it's been a mad couple of years. Like I say, I learned all that. I learned all that.
Remember the shit with James English and that as well?
Oh my god, I didn't even start that. Yeah. I expected him to start.
Do you know what? That annoyed me because I actually really like James English. I just don't think people really understand. Maybe if you're not from here, like you know, when you see a little girl like that carrying a hatchet, like I know what type of person that little girl is. Without having to fucking... I'm not saying that there was no right party there, you know what I mean? There could have been... them foreign people could have been doing the wrong thing, as far as I know, something...
It's been in court,
It's been in court, so I mean, obviously there was something going on there, but let's be fair, man, those kids were little cunts. You know that. You know what I mean? You can fucking say all you want about judging a book by its cover, but, like, you just know that, like...
No
matter what, man, like fucking what was happening with like people creeping about or that foreigners or when I was a kid, I wouldn't be going about with a hatchet.
No, like
I wasn't brought up to be like that.
Well, you grew up the same. You grew up the same age group as me. Yeah. What did you feel Dundee was like when we were growing up?
You fought with your hands.
It was a hard place.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, like it was.
But did you ever worry about getting stabbed?
Never in a million years.
Never even worry about hitting somebody with a knife.
But now I do.
Yeah.
Now I fucking do. Like now I even think about. You know, like getting, and I still stupidly do it sometimes. You know, even like road rage and stuff like that. Like, and you know, like you could end up getting an altercation with somebody, and they might have a fucking blade or something in their car. And you know, and in a moment of madness, if somebody's got something on them, you know, you're capable of anything. Like no matter how, you know, like switched on you think you are, and how much self-control you think you've got, like if you've got a weapon on you and something's happening to you that you don't want to be happening, then you're probably going to be inclined to use it.
So
that's why the thing that you're saying about the laws coming into carrying should be implied.
The scratch goes into mad debates. I think we need to do is we need to tackle the subculture of it by trying to get the youth away from it. Mm-hmm. That's the only, like, we need to kill the trend of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that is incredibly hard. See, like,
I just don't get how there's like you see all these young kids.
How is it flipped so chaotic?
Like there's got to be something like in I don't know, on social media or like Netflix or something. It just seems like it's like people think it's cool to do that now. You know, it's like it is. There's like a culture like that, like a culture that's like kind of like making out like it's a cool thing. Oh yeah, no, there is.
I'll fix it like it's like a boiling pot of like emotions with loads of stuff. The manosphere's got a lot to do with it. I think like for a young age. Yeah, man. Like young laddies buy into that shit very easily, so and they feel
these guys are absolute clowns.
Most of them. You seen that? What's that Myron guy? He's kicking off. Like I seen he was kicking off this week. The boy that was in the documentary, the
dark skinned boy.
Yeah. He's sort of losing the plot. The whole like it's the toxic influence they put onto these like young guys who are trying to find their way in the world, and I was speaking to...
There's nothing wrong with having traditional values. Me and my partner, Rachel, have traditional values. Like, I'm the provider, she's the mother. She wants to do that, though. I'm not forcing her to, you know, like, if I can provide and she wants to do that, then I'll do that. And, like, our values align with one another, which is great because we don't ever argue or that in regards to anything like that. So there is a place for it, but it doesn't mean you need to be disrespectful towards women.
Yeah, exactly. No,
you know what I mean. Like women should be
treated with the
highest respect. Like, mate, being a fucking mother is hard.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, my partner is the best fucking mum in the world. Like, and I know everyone just says that, but she is like superwoman. Like, she's so good. She does everything with him. She's obviously dealing with Bloom, who's got like severe autism.
Well, we're speaking to Simon Murray last week about the autism.
Yeah, because that's how I know Simon.
Yeah, through the groups. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been tattooing Simon for years. That was how I first met him. But Yeah, I know him through all the groups, like the autism groups and stuff like that, and his wee boy Nova's there. He's actually doing something now as well, like
support group
like
through the Dundee Community
I've seen
Trust.
that's amazing as well, but it's not really something I need to go to. Like, I don't feel like I really need support for that sort of thing, but I know that there are a lot of men that do struggle with it. I did at the start. It was a hard pill to swallow at the start, but it's, you know, you love them for who they are, and, you know, like, you get used to that life, and, like, you actually probably love them more than you could ever think, because the small things matter more. I was going to actually tell you a funny story about Simon. Simon actually doesn't know this, so if he watches that, he's going to find out. But his little girl,
this should be one of the podcasts, is it?
His little girl's called Bally, right? And as Rachel speaks to is it Casey, his girlfriend, or Casey or Cassie? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but Casey, I think. Cassie, we'll go with Cassie. And she speaks to Rachel as well, you know, from the groups and stuff like that as well. And Rachel went to me one weekend, by the way, we've got Bally's birthday party on Sunday. And I was like, all right, cool, yeah, no worries. You know, women arrange that shit. Like, it's not
yeah,
guys just turn up. And so anyway, we were going to the party and that, and like, I'm like, I'll need to ask Simon about sort of fucking X, Y, and Z. And she was like, Simon who? I went, Murray. She went, it's not Simon Murray's fucking girl's party we're going to. And I went, no? She was like, nah, it's like Bally, a girl I know from the stables is like kids fucking, I don't know, first birthday or something like that. And then she was like, Bally's about 3 or something. And I was like, all right, yeah. So anyway, like, we fucking get to the party and that, obviously, and like, it's not Simon. I've been telling people all week, you know, in the tattoo studio, I'm going to Simon Murray's wee girl's birthday party. They're like, oh, Simon's a great cunt. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that is. So the weird part though, right, Rachel goes to me, you will never believe it. And I'm like, what? She was like, Simon Girl's wee girl's birthday party was yesterday, the same fucking day as this other girl called Bally. I'm like, what are the chances of that?
I've not been expecting you to show up.
But I'm like, what's the chances of 2 wee girls called Bally that have got a birthday on the same day? Maybe not born on the same day, but the parties were on the same day. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
that's pretty freaky that you were saying you were going to be going to that, and it was happening that day anyway.
Because I just thought, you know what it's like. I'm just like, oh, fuck, they must speak. Fuck it. I'm just, you know what I mean? I didn't really ask questions. It just turned up to another Bally's party.
So he's a great guy, Simon, man.
He's a lovely guy. Yeah.
He got a lot of love on TikTok last week for the clip shit we've done from
did he?
this podcast. Yeah.
Mate, he's a really, really dead, down to earth guy. Yeah, like
What's going with that? What high profile people have you tattooed before?
Well, did you not see that I just tattooed the DMAs?
I did not, but I seen you met them. I seen Mikey T.
Yeah, Mikey T. So he set it up. So for anyone that doesn't know, DMAs are
You're a massive fan of DMAs.
Massive fan. They're my favourite band. They've been my favourite band since 2016. And I have them on basically every day. Like on Spotify, I'm like 95th top listener in the world. Like in the top 0.00001% of every year for like the last 6 or 7 years. And Mikey T was in getting tattooed, and he was like, oh, you like the DMAs? And I was like, yeah, man. And he went, I know one of the guys. Well, he goes, well, I know all of them. I met them all because he works in the music industry in Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Mikey Kent's hardy, doesn't he?
Yeah. And he was like, oh, they're into their tattoos. Maybe I can get you tattoo up. This was years ago. So I was like, yeah, no way. Fucking. So anyway, like years came by. Then they came and played their 10th anniversary tour there in Scotland for the first album. And he was like, oh, maybe you could set it up. So he starts texting the guy. And in my head, right, I love Mikey to bits, but I'm like, this guy is a fucking Walter Mitty. You know what I mean? But so the next thing he's like, we have our little girl, we call her Silver. Silver's probably one of DMA's biggest songs. That's kind of where we got our inspiration for, because that's what we want to go as our first dance at our wedding as well.
All right, okay.
So Rachel came up with the idea of the name, and I was like, class, Silver Stewart. Sounds
cool name, to be fair.
And so Mikey texts him saying, oh, my friend's just called his little kid Silver. And the guy he texted, it was actually him that wrote the song as well out the band. So, because the three of them all write, sorry. And he was like, oh, no way, sick. He was like, he's actually a really good tattoo artist. So you want a tattoo when you're gigging in Scotland? He was like, oh, I'm kind of done with tattoos just now and that. He says, but Mason, mate, that's another boy in the band there. And so I was kind of like, this is not going to happen. And I get like a message just after Silver's born say congratulations from Mason from the DMAs. Congratulations on the baby, man. Fucking love the name. Mine's is due in April. And I'm like, oh, cool. So
he messaged you that, yeah?
He messaged me on Instagram. He DM'd me.
So what buzz moment was that for you, like?
Oh, it was surreal, mate. But I still thought in my head, this will fall through, you know. I'm like, yeah, if you're in Scotland and you're wanting tattoo, just hit me up, man. You know, and he was like, oh, defo, man. I'm up for it, you know, sort of. He was a man of few words on Instagram. Didn't really want to hassle him, even though I was pure chomping at the back. You know what I mean? Like, sort of. And then it kind of got closer to the time, and he started mailing me a couple of ideas, and I was like, fucking hell, this might actually happen. So anyway, long story short, it did, and I sat with him for 6 hours tattooing him, and I got on absolutely great with him. I had a really good laugh, and he knew I was a massive fan, but I played it cool. You know, like, I didn't want him to fucking get the...
So you weren't like a fanboy then?
Well, I was a little bit, but like, I was asking him a lot about their music, but without like, to the point where he was thinking, this guy's a fucking weirdo, I don't ever want to meet him again. So I just by
the way, I've got a tattoo of you on my back.
And then he was just like, so what you doing now, man? And I was like, I'll probably just go meet Mikey, and then I'll head over to the gig and at some point. And he was like, cool, you want me to just call us an Uber? And I was like, I've got my car there. He was like, cool, man, you want to just give me a lift? And I was like, yeah, he was Aussie, by the way, he didn't sound like that. But I was like, yeah, cool. So we're like driving to the O2, like, and I'm like going around all these fucking wrong ways and that, nearly crashing and stuff like that. And he's hysterical because I'm fucking like, you know, like, don't know where the fuck I'm going. And then I'm like, we drive past the O2, and there's obviously a big queue outside for the DMAs. And I'm like, obviously we can't go to the front door because you're going to get harassed. In fact, actually, like at one point when I was with him, people stopped and I had to take photos for him, you know, like, yeah, he's like, yeah, that happens quite a lot here, man. You know, like, fucking, but we ended up like having to go another way, but my sat nav kept taking me to the front, and there was another way to get around into the back. So we got into the back anyway, and he was like, mate, here's a backstage pass, come on in, fucking. So next thing I'm in the green room, like just me and him, but we're a little early. And I'm like, fucking hell, man, I'm so anxious. Like, just like, and then like the rest of the band come in and fucking, I get introduced to them, but there's like, they're like, 3 of them front it, but there's actually 3 other people in the band, but they just kind of play in the background, like, so it's actually a 6-piece band.
Was that?
Yeah. So they all came in. I never knew who they were because you don't see them. They're sort of like,
you only see 3 of them now.
3 of them on the faces because the 3 of them write the songs and split the royalties. Oh. And I met all of them first, and it was actually funny. The other guitarist, the drummer asked him, "What have you been up to today?" He's like, "Oh, not much, just got like a lump on my neck. I'm kind of freaking out. I suffer from health anxiety as well, so no."
Exactly. Oh, I know you do. Like,
I know exactly what you felt like. And I went, "You want me to feel it, mate?"
Dr. Stewart,
yeah. He was like, "Yeah, if you want, yeah." Like, so the next time I'm in the green room, like fucking assessing this boy's fucking lump to see if it's cancerous or not, because I've read so much about it. I know what they feel like. I'm like, it's just a lymph node, mate. You know, right? You know what I mean? He's like, honestly, and I'm like, yeah.
That's what my mum says. Funny enough,
cancer lumps are like got rigid edges and all that. It feels smooth, you know, like sort of. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. You've made me feel a bit at ease, you know, like sort of. And then the rest of the band came in, and I met like Johnny and Tommy, like the lead singer and stuff like that. Tommy was quite quiet. He had like a wee.
Is he the singer?
Yeah, he had a wee earpiece in, and like, you know, just listening. Obviously, that was the stuff his way, but he was nice still. He still introduced himself and whatnot, and. Then they chucked us out like 10 minutes before we went on. Before they went on, they chucked everyone in that wasn't in the band to get 10 minutes to themselves before. And then I went and kind of had the backstage pass, so we were able to go through all the wee shortcuts and fire exits to get to where we wanted in the O2 and watch the band, class gig. And like the best moment for me was Mason dedicated Silver to my little girl, Silver.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man. And he said he was going to do it when I was tattooing him, but I thought, you'll forget. And I'm not going to go, remember and fucking,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just in case he's
dedicate
like, supper. He's not getting that.
Man, that's fucking mad. Like, this is what I was wanting to dig out here. Like, stories like, see when you're a teenager, did you think that like what you were doing in the future, like a band you'd be listening to would be coming, getting tattooed off,
mate, because like
dedicating songs to your wee girl.
The band I've seen most, I've seen the DMAs like 6 or 7 times, like so more than the Arctic Monkeys. They were my favourite band. This is how much I like.
That was my next question after. What are you in the Arctic Monkeys place of listening in the world, man?
Would I think of them now?
No, what about, see, have you like the DMAs? You said you're the 95th like listener in the world or whatever. You've got to be up
the Monkeys more that much anymore. I love their old stuff, like, but their last 2 albums I'm not keen on. Alex Turner's a fucking turned into a bit of a weirdo as well. He's like got pure LA syndrome.
I thought he's been. The first 2 albums for me were just that.
I thought the first 5 were great, man. The last 2 were
first
mediocre.
2 for me. I like AM. I got on it.
AM was my favourite album.
Yeah, remember we went to see it in the park years ago. Yeah.
But I was about to say as well. So at the DMAs after the gig, we got to go backstage again. It was meant to be going to an after party, but they went, "Oh no, we're just having people backstage." So there was like all the wee groupies and that backstage at this point, and I got a proper chat with them all then, and like fucking got a proper chat with Tommy and stuff like that, like the lead singer, and he actually came up to me and he went, "Hey Callum," and I was like, "What?" He went, "Just want to apologise, mate." And I'm like, "What for?" And he's like, "You got kicked out 10 minutes before we went on." And he goes, "That's just one of our things as a band." And I was like, "What are you apologising for?" I'm like, "I'm just happy to be here."
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's the type of guys they were.
Yeah, it was nice. It was
like,
nice
so, what I mean? No egos. Like, and I was worried. I said to Mason when I was tattooing, I'm like, "I'm glad you're not a fucking knob." And he was like, "Why?" I went, "Because you're my favourite band, and if you were a prick, I would have stopped listening to you. It would have put me off. Like, never meet heroes, or, you know what I mean?" Yeah. So it's like, yeah, mate, the whole experience was just so overwhelming. I ended up leaving probably about 12:30. I think they stayed till about 3 a.m, but I just didn't want to overstay my welcome or like, and now I keep in touch with them. I get on great with Mason, especially the boy that I tattooed. And a bonus is the documentary, which we can touch on later, that we're making, is I've asked Mason if I can use their music in my part of the documentary. And Red, the guy producing it, has said, "Good luck with that," because they won't own the rights to their music. Sony, who signed them, do. So I just messaged Mason on the off chance. I was like, "I'm being cheeky here," but and he went, "Mate, pick any songs you want. I'll send you the real audio files and I'll okay it with management." So,
wow,
yeah. So they'll be on my section of the documentary. Yeah.
That is mega, man.
Yeah. So like pure, mate, honestly, it's just so surreal, man. Like pure fanboying.
That costs a ton of money. Like, see, one of the things we come across if we're doing like social media stuff, if you put a cool tune on something, man, what, you make nothing off that. Like,
yeah, I know.
All goes to the owner. But yeah, let's talk on the documentary. Cammy's mentioned on it. I'm looking really forward to seeing it, but let's hear it for your point of view.
So he's probably told you what it's all about.
The Feast of the Fools.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could tell you a little bit about the history, but it's probably way off. It's like a day in medieval times, I couldn't tell you what century, where like there was one day of the year, almost like the Purge, but on a much, like more canny level, like where people were allowed to take the piss out of politicians and religion and stuff like that, and basically not be fucking stoned to death for it or whatever they'd done back then. And it was like jesters that done it. People thought they were idiots. People thought they were fools, but they were actually like really intelligent, like comedians nowadays. Like people think, they're just daft, but like they're not. They're fucking super intelligent. You know what I mean? They know lots about everything, lots about politics, lots about what's going on in the world. You have to be smart to be a comedian, so they were kind of like, although it was funny on that day, they were sort of frowned upon. I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining this perfectly. I'm explaining it the best I can. I don't really care. I just want to do the documentary, but I'm just trying to like, I mean? The idea sounded cool to me. But yeah, like they were sort of seen as fools in that time, but they'd done well for themselves. So it's just like a sort of
I've seen
an analogy of like what me and Kame are, and like what people that are heavily tattooed are. Oh, they're idiots, they're fools, but we're not, because we've obviously successful, made a lot of money, and we've done done well for ourselves.
That's a very good reference.
So I don't know if he told you, but we used Mark Navarro. Yeah. Everyone knows Mark Navarro in Dundee as the jester in the thing. So he's kind of creeping about the documentary.
I've seen the photos.
He looks pretty bells cool on his dreadlocks and everything like that. Like, he's a mad guy anyway, as everyone knows. But he played the part perfectly. And he could actually probably go into acting in some like mad Mayan role or something. Like
I heard that the Pirates of the Caribbean's getting.
Yeah.
I'm only joking, Mark.
It's funny. He says everywhere he goes, he does that. He's the fucking, where's that? The Costa Rican fucking Johnny Depp and stuff like that. Jack Sparrow, sorry.
He should be going into something like that. To be fair, he's a character. Serious character.
He's great, man, and he's read like a really cool bit off a Shakespeare script over it, and that's going to be like little bit of that going over the top of the documentary with like a drone kind of going over the top of it. It sounds really Scottish. Yeah, it's cool. But like, yeah, I mean, the documentary kind of took a different twist because we thought it was just originally going to be about me and Cammie's careers, which it is, but and like how how things are going now and whatnot. But like it's kind of got like a little bit more of an artistic twist on it now. So
he think that to me it was cool. He decided like a timestamp to show you were here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. What you've done.
Yeah, because people forget about you as well. You know,
yeah.
So it's like another thing to.
I always describe it as used to revolutionise tattooing.
Cammie especially.
I've described it to Cammie, but you're like another turn to that coin because Cammie obviously the patterns and he's amazing at what he does, and he done like half of people in Dundee going a bit black, or more than half. It's because of Cammie. I've always said this, the influence he's had. But then you come along and put your spin on it with the realism, what everyone we spoke about here.
Yeah.
And it's like to showcase your work like that, and like the way he described it, like a timestamp, you know, to actually go back and see what was going on.
Yeah, and it was almost like the tattoo that we done on the guy, one of my good clients and friends, Callum Stewart, it was like a combination of both our styles merged into one.
All right, okay.
So we ended up using like a Latin phrase on it that said Concordia Contrariorum, which means harmony of opposites in Latin.
Right,
so it was like two styles merging together, and it was the first time me and Cammie actually worked on a collaborative piece.
I've never heard you doing that before.
Yes, it was the first time, so that was cool. So we're both tattooing at the same time.
Who came up with the phrase? That's cool as fuck.
I did, but I chat GPT'd it. What's like a really cool like Latin word that kind of means two things coming together that harmonise, and it was like there was loads of different ones, but I was like, because they both began with C. And like it's been Cammie's initials and that as well. Had loads of little,
that's
like
cool.
little cool
really
things
cool.
And that, you know, like Cammie wanted to. I don't want to really speak too much about it, but he wanted to use a pattern that was special to him because it was his pal that designed it, but it was also his pal Zedley Head that passed.
Yeah, he spoke about him quite a lot.
Well.
Yeah,
It was, so he done that, and I just kind of done a bit more of my style and just tried to merge it into his. And yeah, so it should be cool, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So they're thinking a July release. But there'll be some promo before then, t-shirts, posters.
Is it going to shock? You remember like how the Brutal Black project shocked a lot of people at the time?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know what to expect. I've just left it in the hands of the director, Red. You know, like he's done videos with The View and stuff like that.
He's like the boy to go to.
He's really good at what he does, and he's spent a lot of time on it, man. I mean, we filmed it in August. It was meant to be out before the end of the year, and it's not going to be out to July. So, like, he said he has been meticulous with every single scene, you know, like. So I really don't know what to expect, but I know that whatever he does, I trust. I've just put my trust into him because that's what he does, and I'm not really wanting to interfere with something I really don't know anything about, you know. So hopefully it'll be good.
The photos from it look
and the studio was cool. We worked in. We went in that Water's Edge studio, and like Red's got an office there. So normally it's $7,500 a day because it's like a big 4K. I can't remember the exact name of what it is they use the technology. But it's like $7,500 higher a day, but Red gets it for free. So like it was like, you know, there's a lot of money that's been spent on production, and a lot more would have been spent if we had to pay for that studio. So it's like, I'm excited to see it. It'll just be a short film. I don't know how long, 15, 20 minutes. There was a lot of filming, so I'm like, how the fuck is he going to get that into 15 minutes? Because I was getting interviewed for hours.
Oh my god, I hate when you get interviewed for hours and it's just for like 2 seconds. Man,
I don't like getting interviewed or stuff like that. Like there was a real contrast with me and Cammie's interview because there was like, I was saying that to you earlier, but like there was like a big cool chair. It was like a big throne that we
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
and Cammie sat in it like that, so relaxed, just speaking, you know. And I sat on the edge of, you know, like that one, but pure hanging off the edge of the chair, like rocking back and forward. So it's like there's not only a mad contrast in our styles of tattooing, but there's also a mad contrast in who we are as people as well. Because me and Cammie, although people think we're very similar, we're two totally different characters.
You're two totally different characters. I'll leave me on to my next question, right? But coming off the back of the documentary, because like it was the Fool's comment.
Yeah.
Like, I've because I've been around you for so long, I've seen it firsthand. Like people looking at you for tattoos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's positives with that and there's negatives with it as well. Like how do you deal with that nowadays? Does it annoy you more now or?
You know what, mate? Like I've got tunnel vision. I think like Rachel or whoever I'm with notice it more than me because like I'm just like that, and like if I obviously look at somebody that's looking at me, they'll look away, so I don't notice it. But Rachel or that will be like, that guy keeps fucking staring at you.
But I used to go with you. It used to annoy me if
like,
somebody was like heavy looking at you constantly.
Yeah,
because you would be
doesn't
catching
annoy
it.
me. I mean, it comes with part of what you've done to yourself. You have to accept that, you know. But you know, most experiences for me have been pretty positive.
Dundee's a very accepting city.
Yeah,
it
is, and there's quite a lot of heavily tattooed people in Dundee, and it's heavily tattooed faces. But even when you go away somewhere else, mate, because of the way you look, people are actually more intimidated by you. You know, like they think that guy's a fucking psychopath, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm far from it. It's like, but they don't know that. So for me, actually, it's been a good thing because it saved me getting in bother. Because people just like, you know,
I think it's because you're about 6'4". That saves you getting bother as well.
6 foot stone, I'm 18 stone. But no, one of Johnny.
I always tell my Cal's got the gym because his shoulders go bigger up.
I've not been in 14 months. That's how like skinny daft just now. But like we were at one of Johnny Ramsey's bare knuckle fights, and there was like a guy back in my room afterwards. We're having a wee bit of an after party and that, and the whole night he just looked at me and went, "Oh man, like you're really intimidating me." Like, and I was like, and everyone was going, "Mate, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet."
He was like, Johnny. He was getting
he was going like that. Like Ken, Johnny's like, he goes, but there's just something about you, mate. Like, like fucking, and everyone all night was just, but he done it all night to the point where like, mate, if you didn't stop going on about it, you're going to need to leave.
Your face getting done was, I remember, it was very gradual. Remember about here, no one really noticed when you got that done.
Yeah,
it was when you took the mantra.
Yeah,
around your face.
Yeah,
and that's what like took it to that next level.
I mean, that's kind of my. I think that's probably my sort of trademark tattoo.
I don't even see it anymore. Yeah. I know that.
No, everyone says that. I think after you speak to me, even for 10, 15 minutes, people say that. But that's my favourite tattoo, and I think that's probably the one that people recognise me for. I
remember when you were getting it done, you text me. I think it was like the outline. At the time, I was like, oh, whoa! And then the next message was it was all black, and I was just like, fucking. You're about the beard.
Yeah, and I remember when I got it done, it was fucking. I was up for about 2 days. Taking ketamine and sniffing quite a lot of speed. And like he done it, and I was in the studio for like 10.5 hours before he even started tattooing.
Was it that Zed?
Yeah, and I was like, mate, I need more speed, or I'm not going to be able to do that. So like, and he was like, yeah, okay, cool. So I was in there till like 4:30 in the morning, and I hadn't slept for 3 days or something like that because I'd been like in the studio. Cammy was getting tattooed the night before, and I couldn't sleep because I'd been taking speed. You know what I mean? So I was like, you're not sleeping on that, and. I remember getting it done and like looking at myself in the mirror, and he'd shaved off half my beard. Pus was out to here, and it was jet black. And I remember like sending a photo to my ex and like going buzzing with it, and she wrote, "Glad you're happy." And I was like, "You fucking shallow bitch, man." I like fucking raging about it. But then, mate, honestly, I went home at 4:30 in the morning or something. I left the studio in London, and I went back to the hotel, and I could not sleep, man. I was up for hours and hours on end. I woke up the next morning and Cammy had slept, and I was like, I still can't sleep. Like, I was on the train home, and I was like next to this like Asian family, like on the train, like like a seat of 4 by myself, like that. With this big blue and black tattooed past with half a beard, pale as fuck because I hadn't slept, and like fucking like on a mad come down where I couldn't speak. And I was like on a 6-hour journey home, and it was horrendous. But then after it settled and after the buyer's remorse had went, and I looked at myself in the mirror, my beard started to grow back, and things, I loved it, but at the start I was like, what the fuck have I done? You know what I mean?
I was all bad, just, you know what? I've just been sitting talking reminiscing, mate. Our cameras are going to die. I'm getting told that we need to stop. This has been it's just been a catch up with my mate. It's been
love you, brother.
Well, we'll get back and we'll get other halves of the stories and that. But some for coming in. I think I've managed to.
Thanks for having me, man.
I think I've managed to pick some good stories out of the So as always, brother.
Love you, brother.
This has been the Dundee Sole podcast. Our cameras are way to die. Good night.